At this time, it's my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker. This airman was a chapter chief and a lodge chief from Inato Lodge, which is correspondent to the Flint River Council. He served in capacity as a section officer for all 3 section offices, that's secretary, vice chief, and 2 terms as a section chief. And he's also serving for the 26th year in the capacity as the CVC of the Experience for the Next program. And I'm also very proud to get to call him one of my friends. At this time, I'd like to introduce the SR9 Section Chief, Patrick Mapp, to deliver our keynote address.
Good evening. I'm honored to be here with you tonight, and specifically I'll share with you 2 reasons. The first is your warm hospitality and welcome assures me that the spirit of the Order of the Arrow is alive and well amongst the brothers of the Coosa Lodge, and for that you should be proud. The second is, well, I got to choose between coming to a Coosa event and an EGWA event, and there wasn't much deciding to be done. My time here this weekend has really shown me that your leaders have invested a lot of time in ensuring that this weekend and tonight this event is one to remember. And if your Lodge Chief Alex is anything like I was when I was a Lodge Chief, he spent the last few hours putting the finishing touches on the banquet, but not only the banquet, but a year as a Lodge serving the Greater Alabama Council. But also things like taking 168 airmen to NOAC, 115 airmen to Conclave, and various section awards assure that the 2015 year for the Coosa Lodge was one not to forget. It seems all the hard work your leaders put in, it seems as if worry and sleepless nights are in our job title. And I bring this up because as those awards I just mentioned prove that hard work does pay off. All this talk about wonder and worry reminds me of a question I was posed at our Indian Winter event last month. The question simply, what keeps you up at night? And tonight, in the short time I have with you, I'd like to share with you my answer. Sometimes it's the staircase outside my doorway. Sometimes it's the sirens outside the window. But most of the time, it's me. Like anyone, doubts and worries and troubling reflections on the past and weary predictions of the future, they keep me counting sheep. But there's 2 words that if I put them together, I'm sure to wake up with dark eyes, circles around my eyes. Those 2 words are what and if. I share with you this because most recently, a question that kept me up started with what if and ended with the Order of the Arrow. This question was prompted after reflecting on some of the incredible milestones we have obtained and reached as an order in our centennial year. And I'll share with you just a few of those. As an order, we brought together 15,000 of our closest friends to the National Order of the Arrow Conference at Michigan State University. As a section, we held a conclave with over 1,000 airmen in attendance. And together, as an organization, we challenged over 25,000 Twitter users to take on #DareToDo and share the spirit of service with more than 12 million people globally who saw their posts. Can we get a round of applause for the Order of the Arrow's centennial year? Ladies and gentlemen, given these significant accomplishments, combined with the unmatched excitement of last year's centennial year, I pose, what if our best days as Scouting's A-Team are now behind us? As I tossed and turned that night, I came to an important realization that each of us, that all of us, have the power to decide whether what if becomes reality. And it's that single fact that gives me hope. We are the framers of the Order's next century, just as our brothers framed the last. Our actions will determine whether or not the best is still ahead. And I'm confident in our ability to forge the right path, mindful of tradition and fueled by passion. This past year has reaffirmed our purpose as an organization, reignited all of our passion, and reminded us just how far we've come since a young camp director took a group of scouts into a ceremony and honored them because of their service to the organization. Now, with our centennial behind us, it is now our job to take the enthusiasm and turn it into meaningful action to fuel the next century of our organization. And folks, I say this because there's much more riding on the Order's continued prosperity than more service hours and large banquets. We exist as an Order to work for the good of the Boy Scouts of America. Given the necessity of our program in this world today, this is going to be a serious obligation. And I speak to you as a living outcome of the Scouting program. In the past year alone, the Boy Scouts has taken me to the hills of West Virginia, to Michigan State for our centennial celebration, and before you here tonight. Each time providing me with an adventure to remember, but more importantly, reinforcing 12 words to live by. In fact, the Boy Scouts has perfected the ways through which young men perfect themselves. And in a time when youth are becoming more sedentary and less inquisitive day by day, the world needs the Boy Scouts of America more than ever to strengthen each new generation of citizens. There is no doubt that the Order of the Arrow and the Boy Scouts of America, in turn, need each of you, need all of us to ensure that future generations will benefit from wearing a uniform just like the one we all wear tonight. So as we wind down the excitement of the centennial year, let's use this momentum that we've established to serve our troops, our camps, our councils, and our community. And let's reaffirm the Order of the Arrow as a good catalyst to the Boy Scouts of America. My time with you all here this weekend has assured me that there is a capable generation of leaders with the capacity to craft the beginnings of our next century. Together with your commitment, the best days of our Order are still ahead of us. And with that, I won't be losing much sleep. Thank you.